slide the block forward, and I only want to slide it forward to the degree where I can keep my legs very active and keep my core really active. If I get to a point beyond that where I can't really turn everything on again, that's gone too far. Hey gang, welcome to Pose of the Week. Denise here, and I'm carrying on with my little series on eccentric loading and developing end of range control or range of control, which again is what we want much more than passive range, which we can't really use or access in our day-to-day life or even really in our practice until we're, sitting on the floor or whatever. So here's a wide leg forward fold, and what we're going to do in this particular iteration is we'll use a block. I do this in my classes quite often, and I'm just going to ground down into my feet. Again, I want to be very active here. I want to imagine that I could actually lift up out of this posture to some degree. So I'm pressing down enough that it actually lifts my body away from the ground a little bit. And then you can just put a block, or you could wear your socks on your hands, or you could use a blanket. So a yoga blanket would be great here, but I often use a block and it works pretty well. You just need a sliding surface that works. So what we'll do here is turn the legs on really firmly. I'm super active here. It doesn't matter if your legs are more forward, doesn't matter if you need to have something under your knees. If that works better for you, no problem, because we're staying super active. And so now what we're going to do is slide the block forward, and I only want to slide it forward to the degree where I can keep my legs very active and keep my core really active. If I get to a point beyond that where I can't really turn everything on again, that's gone too far. So I want to be here where I have control, and I'm just going to move this block, slide it forward and back a few times. And you might wonder, well, how many times should I do something like this? Ideally, you're going to do it till it really has fatigued you to some degree. So that's kind of what we're going for. We're actually going to the degree where we would really like to stop. So that's kind of a good definition of endurance, maybe, is in the face of mounting desire to stop, you keep going for one or two more times. But let's say if you're teaching a class, you might want to do this maybe 7 or 9 times, sliding forward and using control to bring it back. This is eventually going to develop range of control at a very low position for you. I've got my legs strongly turned on and pressing down into the floor. Press, press, press. I have lots of control to bring myself up. And we can do this actually in a standing position too. So I'll show you that. You can come up. I often, again, do this in my class as well. In Prasarita Padottanasana, grounding through great toe. Now, my feet have to be organized and activated, right? Because I'm standing on them. So I'm pressing down, dialing my legs outward. And I'm going to slide the block forward and then press into my feet, pull into my core. Again, press it out. And this is kind of nice because we don't really have a lot of pulling actions in yoga, so we can push down into the block and press it against the floor as we pull it back. So we actually activate much more muscle in our arms and back, as well as the core, of course. So really good stuff. Very, very strengthening at those end ranges, which starts to develop your tissue tolerance as well as your range of control. So can you see how much this is going to really develop your capacities, and then you're going to have access to that increased capacity, such as strength, such as endurance, such as tissue tolerance. All of that is going to help you in other postures that you do. All right, you are really building your infrastructure, if you will. All right, and I hope you're enjoying yourself doing it. Thanks so much for trying it out. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you on the next lesson. There's still more. Bye for now.